Papal Rome, home to the Colosseum, Pantheon, and various Renaissance artists such as Michelangelo and Raphael. It is also the home of the smallest country or city-state in the world, Vatican City. Vatican City houses the head of the Roman Catholic Church, the Bishop of Rome, aka the Pope. Though many may recognize the Pope as the supreme leader, less is known about the Vatican itself and the power it represents. To understand a political power, one must search out the institution and drive behind that power. That is to say, what you see on the surface may not be the whole entire story. There may be a deeper connection that's hidden in the shadows. Welcome to the Papacy, the making of a political power, part 1. Though the luster in the days of the Roman Empire has seemingly disappeared into the history books, one notable connection of that era that still remains today is the papacy. Though reduced in its power, it still plays a significant role in our modern society which cannot be ignored. If you like to watch videos about the Bible and biblical history, consider subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, like, and share. Ever wondered how and why the papacy became an institution of authority? Why so many people bow down to the Pope? In all actuality, the Pope is not the main issue. He can be easily replaced by another. It's the institution that they represent which is the main problem, the Roman Catholic Church. And the reason we start with the Roman Catholic Church is because all religious denominations that we see today directly or indirectly stems from the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church. To uncover the true power of the papacy, we must begin where it all started, the Roman Empire. In 284 AD, Rome was under the leadership of Emperor Diocletian. But he was not the sole emperor, as he decided to share his seat with a man by the name of Maximian, which was unheard of in those times. Rome has never had two leaders. Moreover, both rulers also chose their own successors to replace them when they could no longer rule. So the Roman Empire was under the leadership of 4 rulers, with Diocletian and his successor Galerius ruling the Eastern Roman Empire, and Maximian and his successor Constantius ruling the Western Empire. This period in Rome was known as the Tetrarchy. The Roman Empire was vast at the time and included parts of Africa, Asia, Spain, Great Britain, and France. After Emperor Diocletian stepped down from the throne, with Maximian following suit, Constantius succeeded the throne. Better known as Emperor Constantine, he declared Christianity as the main religion. Let us be clear, up until this time, Rome was a pagan empire. The people were polytheistic, which meant that they worshipped many gods, even as Christianity was proclaimed to be the main religion, more so for political reasons than for the actual love of the Hebrew Christ. Many still worship pagan gods. It was at this time under Emperor Constantine that the papacy became the supreme authority, exercising their full ecclesiastical power. So exactly what is that supreme papal authority? According to Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 882, the 2nd edition, the Pope is said to be the Bishop of Rome and Peter's successor. It says that he is the perpetual and visible source and foundation of the unity both of the bishops and of the whole company of the faithful. For the Roman Pontiff, by reason of his office as Vicar of Christ and as pastor of the entire Church, has full, supreme, and universal power over the whole Church, a power which he can always exercise unhindered. Let us look at the meaning of the word vicar. It means a representative, acting on behalf of, instead of, a substitute. Basically, the Pope is claiming to be Christ's representative. He is acting on behalf of Christ. Now, it also says that the Pope can exercise his power unhindered. Unhindered means without objection or not subject to restraint. That alone is a big issue. No human being should hold this immense power and authority. So what does the word Pope stands for? The word Pope is derived from the Greek word papas, which means father, and the papacy is the office and the jurisdiction of Rome. The official title of Pope is the Bishop of Rome. To be clear, there is only one Supreme Father, and He is the Almighty and everlasting God. Matthew chapter 29 verse 9 reads, "And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. And also, Christ, when he walked the earth, did not institute the papacy. This was something that was instituted by man. So when was the first pope elected? According to the Roman Catholic Church, the first pope was believed to be the Apostle Peter. Though there is no biblical truth in the Bible stating that Peter was the first pope, Peter was a disciple of Christ. I think Papal Rome chose Peter as the first pope because Peter is the rock upon which Yeshua will build his church. The Catholic Church, by selecting Peter as his first pope, was trying to legitimize their position as the head of the church. According to some sources, the papacy may have started circa 67 AD with Pope Linus. However, the exact date is not known, and evidence is few and in between. Since then, there has been over 260 popes since the papacy began. The papal election. Before 1379, most popes were chosen by religious leaders or the clergy. Some popes even tried to appoint their own successors, which did not settle well with the leaders of the church. As you can imagine, this caused numerous problems. As with any elections, there is bound to have opposition. The papacy is no different. Rival candidates did not make it easy during these elections, which led the emperor to make the final decision as to who should be elected as pope. The early papacy had to deal with numerous issues. There were wars, outbreaks of diseases, famines, and the state of the church itself, not to mention fighting off corruption from within. Though most popes were pious, generous, and for the most part well-behaved, there were some that were, for the lack of a better word, unholy and downright scandalous. But we will get to that at another time. Now back to Emperor Constantine. Under Constantine, the Roman Empire was still divided into the Western and Eastern empires. Constantine ruled the western part of the empire. It was from the western province that the Bishop of Rome, aka the Pope, presided over the church. The Eastern Empire of Rome, with its capital of Constantinople, was not as successful as the Western Roman Empire and only dealt with the civil duties of the office of the papacy. So how did Christianity become the main religion in a pagan society? Constantine, as his father before him, worshipped the sun god. He was a pagan worshipper. Why then the drastic change to Christianity? Well, while fighting a series of wars, the emperor said he received a vision, and in the vision he saw the symbol of a cross. Constantine no doubt believed that the symbol was from God. Whether or not the vision was from God, Constantine adopted the symbol of the cross and became a Christian believer. During Emperor Constantine's reign, there were many Christian denominations residing in Papal Rome at the time. Also, before I move on, just to be clear, when I say the word Christians from now on, I am speaking of the Roman Catholic Christians, who at that time were not worshiping the true God of the Hebrews, but a God that the papacy and the Catholic Church have reinvented to suit their beliefs and doctrines. Moreover, genuine Christians do not pray or worship the Mother of Christ. There is no place in the Bible, at least in mine, that states we should reverence Mary or pray to her. There is no amount of Hail Mary that will get you to the kingdom of God. In John chapter 14 verse 6, Yeshua says, I am the way, truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. Now, that isn't to say that there were no true believers of Christ. Actually, there were Christians, followers of the Hebrew Christ that kept the faith and followed the commandments and decrees of Yahuwah the Most High. Many Christians under Emperor Constantine lived a lavish lifestyle. Many received positions in high offices and were given out portions of land. Because claiming Christian at that time had its benefits, many pagans seeking to exploit the system kept their status and wealth, adopted Christianity. So there were Christians on the outside but still practiced their pagan beliefs on the inside, which eventually made its way into the church. Now Emperor Constantine, showing his sincerity for his newfound faith, declared at the Council of Nicaea that Yeshua was truly God. Whether Constantine really believed it to be true or a political strategy to remain in power, no one may never know, but it can be said that his decision pleased the papacy. However, this declaration denounced Arianism as not the true Christian faith. Wait a minute, what is Arianism? Remember I stated that there were many Christian denominations at the time in Rome? One of these denominations was Arianism. Arianism was founded by a priest named Alexandrian presbyter Arius. His doctrine questioned the belief of the Catholic Trinity, which states that God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit are essentially one. Arians believed that there was a hierarchy, meaning the Godhead, God Himself, and then the Son. The two are not the same, though they operate as one. This type of Christian belief was very popular in the Roman Empire and thus threatened the position of the Catholic Christians, essentially weakening the hold of the Pope over the Church. Why was this religion so popular, and were there any truth behind their theology? Well, let's take a look. Arius was a disciple of Lucius of Antioch. Antioch was the capital city of ancient Syria, and it became one of the largest cities of Rome after Syria was conquered by the Roman Empire. It was at Antioch that the Apostle Paul began his missionary service, preaching to the Jews and God-fearing Gentiles about the God of the Israelites and the Messiah. Antioch was considered one of the early cities of Christianity due to the teachings of Paul and Luke. Lucius may have been one of the followers of Paul's teaching, which preached the true message of salvation, and Arius, as a disciple of Lucius, no doubt believed that they were serving the right God and preaching the right message as opposed to the Catholics. The clergy and the bishops of Rome were furious with the teachings of Arianism and declared Arius a heretic. Though Arianism was denounced, many still believed and followed the faith. It was even stated that Constantine himself, on his deathbed, was baptized by an Arian priest. Through Constantine, Catholicism and the papacy reached its height of dormancy. Many churches were built throughout the Empire Rome. Bishops served as part of the judicial government, and Catholic Christians moved up the social and economic ladder. Due to their newfound roles, the Pope moved away from spiritual matters and focused most of his attention to the affairs of state, which was a messy business. However, in the eastern part of the empire, there was a great divide. They were not supportive of the role of the Pope in Rome in matters of government, jurisdiction, or ancient theology. 4 popes were rumored to have served under Emperor Constantine: Eusebius, Miltiades, Sylvester I, and Mark. During the reign of Miltiades, the African pope, all properties that were stolen or taken away by the state during the earlier persecution of the Christians were given back to the church under his leadership. The papacy enjoyed a period of peace and prosperity, with the Catholic Church flourishing amidst their newfound transformation. Join me next time for part 2 of The Papacy, the making of a political power. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. If you have any comments or suggestions about this topic, feel free to post below in the comment section.